Hey Shalom. First off, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Lachar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS as he says his word, and Shalom unto the hopeful elect upon the four corners of his earth that shall make it up out of here. So, this lesson that I want to bring out was going to be about taking criticism, taking constructive criticism, and trying to better yourself. Trying to become better because of that criticism, because I've observed lately, um, it was already a given, but I have observed that people who don't take constructive criticism, they end up failing eventually. One of my favorite rappers personally, Chance the Rapper, most of you Akim should know who that is, or anyone listening in. He's starting to have a major fall off because he had a lot of criticism coming his way, and he was very high minded, and so he didn't want to listen to it, and so now he's starting to fail. He's falling off because he's not listening to that constructive criticism with people trying to make him better, and we should all use that as an example. We should use any example where people don't listen to that constructive criticism, where people don't take people's words for granted when it comes to that criticism. Why? Because those words that we receive, they are just trying to make us better. If a person's just straight hating, then I'm not saying that you should listen to that. That's just a person trying to say things to you in spite. But if a person's genuinely trying to give you some constructive criticism to make you better, you should want to listen to that, because that's going to build you up. Those words may break you down at first. They may abase you. They may put you on a lower scale, and that may be what you need. But you got to break something down to build it back up. And sometimes you gotta break yourself down to build yourself up stronger. Here I'll get James chapter 1, verse 19. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath." So it says, let every man be swift to hear, but slow to speak. And you should be swift to hear. You should automatically want to listen, especially when someone is telling you about something that you're doing, something about yourself. Reason being, it can help you become a better person. If a lot of people have that spirit of pride on them, they have a lot of pride on them to where they don't feel like they're in the wrong about anything. They don't feel like they have to listen to someone trying to just better them in general. They don't feel like they have to listen to people trying to give them that constructive criticism, because they feel like they already got it. Well, you see what's happened to Chance the Rapper. He is failing completely. He's not making any ticket sales. His music isn't doing any numbers. Reason being, he's trying to do things on his own without listening to people's criticism. And that's what us Akim and the truth got to do. That's what people listening in got to do. Just in general, the us elect, the one thirds, the wheat amongst tares, we gotta listen. And if you're really trying to do your best in this truth, make sure you're listening to criticism, because that can help you do better. One important place to listen to criticism from is your Akim around you, because they are genuinely trying to see you do better. That's where you're gonna get that best criticism. You're gonna get your criticism, the best criticism, from the scriptures and from your Akim, because that's the scriptures are that's just a guidebook to life. That's the guidebook. It has all the prophecies. You already know how powerful the scriptures are, but your Akim can see things that you aren't seeing, and they can try to better you and help you become a better person. And you may not want to listen because of the pride that's on you, but you got to listen to that criticism. You got to be okay with that criticism, because all they're trying to do is make you better. Here I'll get Shalakia. Here I'll get Galatians chapter 6 verse 1. I believe that's the scripture. Galatians chapter 6 verse 1. It says, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. So we are spiritual men. We see things through a spiritual eye. So if you see a man around you that's doing faulty things, that's going off or doing things that they could be doing better, anything that could be going harder in this truth, that could be doing better in this faith, you got to do something about that. Tell them about themselves. Tell them what they can do to be better. Tell them, help that brother out. Because us being in the spirit, we're going to be able to give advice to a brother that someone in the world might not be able to give to that brother, because they're not in the spirit like we are. So therefore, us being in the spirit, you got to give your Akim, you got to give your brother that spiritual guidance, that constructive criticism, so that they can become better. And if you're getting that constructive criticism from your Akim, you got to make sure that you're listening. You got to make sure that you're tuned in, because that admonishment, that's going to make you better. That's going to give you that push, uh, to become better. Because sometimes Akim don't got that push on their own. Sometimes they need a little nudge. Sometimes they need that tough love. And like I said earlier, another place where to get that strong constructive criticism is from the scriptures. Here, I'll get. Let me make sure this is the scripture. Salakia. I think it's in 2 Timothy chapter 3. Yep, here we go. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16 says, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. So these scriptures, they are these scriptures are made for reproof. They're made to correct. They're made to abase. They're made to criticize, so that a man of the Lord can try to become perfect in his ways. Like it says in the scripture, it says, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. So if you're going off, if you could be doing something better in this truth, it's going to have it in these scriptures. But if you aren't seeking any scriptures, your Akim is going to be able to tell you what you're doing wrong too. But these scriptures are a perfect place for reproof as well. This is a perfect place for instruction and instruction in righteousness and admonishment. Here, I'll get Salakia. There's another scripture that came to mind. Yep, right here, and this is a scripture pertaining to if you want to criticize someone else, or if you feel like you have the need to give someone else constructive criticism. Here it says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. So you're ministering grace unto the people that you're edifying and trying to stir aright. How are you ministering them that grace? They may be doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. They may be going off. They may be doing something incorrect in this truth or in the faith or as a person in general. But if you give them that constructive criticism, if you give them those words that they need to hear, that criticism that they need to fix their ways and become right, and fix whatever section of man, of being, anyone in this faith, if you're giving someone those words that they need for that constructive criticism, you're giving them grace, because you're helping them better themselves and put away whatever wickedness they have on them, whatever sloth, whatever negative that's on them. You're helping them put that away. You're giving them that push, that nudge. That's why you shouldn't be scared to give a brother admonishment if they're blatantly doing something that they need to be admonished about. And for brethren who are getting admonished, or for brethren who need that constructive criticism, you got to make sure that you're willing to listen. Because if you're not, you're being stubborn. You're being high-minded. You're being prideful. If the Most High didn't want that spirit, that criticism out there, then He wouldn't have put the spirit on somebody to tell you that criticism. The scriptures say, quench not the spirit. So if someone's giving you that constructive criticism, genuinely trying to help you be better, that's the spirit of the Most High telling you that. You're hearing that for a reason. That constructive criticism is coming toward you for a reason, whatever it may be. That criticism, that admonishment that you're getting, may be put to use a couple days in the future, and you wouldn't have even, if you didn't listen, you wouldn't have even been able to put that criticism to use. But if you listen, you'll be able to know where to administer whatever you are, whatever criticism you're getting, whatever admonishment you're getting. You'll know how to use it. You'll know how to correct others in the same way, because you've learned and you've been steered in the right direction. That's why you got to be able to listen. That's why you can't be high-minded or prideful when it comes to things like that, because you're helping yourself, and then you'll be able to teach others, and you're receiving grace from Akim and from brethren, because you're fixing your ways in the spirit. You're fixing yourself as a man of the Lord, and that's going to be pleasing to the Most High. If you continue in those ways and you don't listen, then the Most High he's gonna be angry with you, because you had the chance to listen. You had the chance to become better in the spirit, but you didn't listen. And so when you mess up again in the same exact way, the Most High is going to have all right to punish you for it. He could have punished you the first time, but what did he do? He put the spirit on somebody to give you that criticism. But you not listening, then you're gonna mess up and just do the same thing all over again. So that's why you gotta listen with meekness. You gotta be humble. That's all it is. You just gotta be humble. Listening to criticism, constructing yourself with criticism, is all about just being humble. It's all about taking that advice, whether it be harsh, whether it come from a soft tongue. You just gotta take that advice and be humble with it and move on, because it's gonna help you out. I promise you that. So hey, that's all I want to bring out on that topic. With that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Achar Kodash, and hey, Shalom.